Okay, guys, all the way 955. This was the last one in stock from the last batch that we got ready. This one's for Mr. Rafael. Just a complimentary test video because I took a couple days longer shipping it out than what I had planned to. But as you guys know, or maybe don't know, all the way 955, what does that mean? It means final upgrade, AM regulator upgrade, and then the modulation / average power mod, which significantly increases the average power. Um, for instance, when you have one that's just been adjusted through the menu and not modified, you can get about a 10 watt carrier and swing to about 20 watts average, for example. Or let's say you have a 20 watt carrier, you'll swing to about 30 average. Now, once the mods are done, a 20 watt carrier will get you somewhere between 50 and 65 average on one of these, and then your PEP is going to vary. So somewhere between 120 and 140, 150, something like that. PEP. Now, to think about that, something to think about is I highly recommend upgrading the power cord. That's got the 8 gauge OFC power cord on it that we sell, but you can make those on your own. You don't have to buy one from me. If you just want to, make your own, you can do that, or they're available on the website roostercb.com. I did have a customer buy one of these radios, and he was using like the stock 16 gauge cord, and he was seeing a severe voltage drop on the front of his radio. I mean, he was going from like 14.5, 14.6 down to like 13 volts or something. And that's just because the power cord's, it's not big enough to tote the load, I guess you'd say. On these, we like to always check them. One of the things to be cautious of once you're modifying these is they can start acting a little bit crazy on sideband. Now, on a 655, you don't have to worry about that. But on a 955, once you change the finals, once you put that, different AM regulator up there, and once you do the mod to it, they can start acting a little crazy on sideband if you don't adjust them out in the service menu. So each one of these, the settings in the service menu could be a little bit different. None of them are exactly the same. The bias on one may be set to a certain point where it's set somewhere else on another one. It just varies per radio. So every one of these is just a little bit different. Because if you're not careful, after you do the modifications to it, the upgrades, it'll try to oscillate, throw a carrier on sideband, stuff like that. But it can always be adjusted out in the service menu. Stay out of the service menu if you're not familiar with it, my recommendation. Unless you're just wanting to adjust stuff like your AM carrier, your sideband power, you can kind of do stuff like that and be okay, but just stay out of the other settings. Okay, enough of that. Let's get on with the show here. These are available for prepay, guys. 4 to 6 week turnaround, sometimes quicker, just depends on how far along we are in the process. Radios kind of get done in waves, so we'll have a bunch of 655s get done, a bunch of 955s get done, a bunch of 497s get done. It just really depends how far along we are in the process on your wait time, but generally 4 to 6 weeks, no more than that. Okay, 14.7 volts. Let's turn our RF power wide open. Hello, audio. Hello, check, audio. Let's go ahead and turn our talk back off. We don't need that. But about 8.5, 9 amps with the RF power wide open there. We're using a Ranger 198. I just grabbed whatever mic was laying closest. 250 watt slug, top scale. Oh, audio. Hello. So there you go, 20 watts to 50 to 60 average. Your PEP is going to be audio 1, 2, 3, or peak power audio. About 140 PEP. Now what I'm going to do is let's just turn the RF power back to, that's about 1 o'clock. Oh, audio. And you still see from about 10 watts it swings 50 average. And your PEP is not going to change. Check, audio 1, 2, 3, audio 1, 2, 3, audio 1, 2, 3, audio 1, 2, audio. So it doesn't really change. Now, the next thing we want to check, like I mentioned, sideband, very key on these to make sure you don't have anything acting crazy. So what we want to do for that is just turn our RF power wide open, and what we're looking for, we don't want it to hang up on sideband, to have any kind of carrier, oscillation, anything like that. So RF power is wide open. That's where we like to check it. Upper sideband right here. 250 watt scale. Again, top scale. This is average. Hello. Hello. Now, let's say we were having an issue. After I spoke into the mic, it would hold wattage like it was trying to modulate. Hello. But we're getting a nice bounce there all the way back to 0. Current draw. Hello. Audio. And then all the way back down to basically nothing. So that is your sideband average power output. 60, 70 watts. That can be adjusted up or down in the service menu. We generally like to keep them somewhere between 50 and 65 average. Your PEP power, audio 1, 2, 3, audio 1, 2, 3, audio. Point the camera at the watt meter. Audio check 1, 2, 3, audio 125. Now on sideband, your RF power is going to adjust the power output a little bit. It's not like AM. On AM, this thing's going to swing the same PEP. The only thing that's going to change is the average a little bit. On sideband, you can actually turn the power down some and back it off. Again, the high side and low side of that can be adjusted in the service menu. I kind of recommend leaving it alone the way it is. But if somebody wants to tailor it to their specific needs, do your research and you can get in there and mess with it. The sideband, high and low power, it's not going to destroy anything if you just get there and monkey around with it a little bit. But I would recommend just leaving it the way we got it set up right now. Should run nice and smooth for you. Okay, Rafael, appreciate it, man. Sorry it took a little while, little time to get the radio out for you. I think you bought it either earlier this week or maybe even last weekend. But due to that, we'll just give you a complimentary test video. That way you can have this for reference to check your radio out, go back and look at it and see how it did, and see how it performs, when you get it. If it stacks up about the same, if it does less power, more power, just a reference video for you. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Rooster in Tennessee, roostercb.com, all the way, 955. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.